He's back already. Said Benrahma is back at West Ham United already. Algeria were embarrassed last night by the Ivory Coast, finishing bottom of their group, and they are out of the African nations already. They got slapped by Ivory Coast last night, and that means Said Benrahma's on his way back. He might be back already, actually. Last night, him and Riyad Mahrez headed straight for the airport, trying to get back to England ASAP, so that they could both feature for their clubs this weekend in the Premier League. So there's every possibility Benrahma will be on the bench at Old Trafford. What a boost for Moyes and his boys. But that was an embarrassing campaign by Algeria and the African nations, and not a great one for Said Benrahma either. I've tried to take in as much of the African nations as possible. My knowledge on some of the players that are featured at the tournament is limited. It's nil, essentially. Players like Boulaye Dia, West Ham get linked to him. You do a transfer rumour showing you basically say, I've never heard of this guy, I don't know anything about him. So I'll be watching as much as I can, keeping my eye out for players that West Ham have been linked to see how they're getting on. And of course, on Said Benrahma can watch. So when Algeria play, I've made sure to take in their games as well, hoping to see Benrahma. I didn't really get to see much of him, to be honest with you. In their first group stage game, they played Sierra Leone. Benrahma was on the bench. He came on with 7 minutes to go, I think he came on. Now, the best chance for Algeria of the game did fall to Benrahma, it has to be said. The ball got cut back to him from the right, so it came onto his right foot about 8-10 yards out from goal, central as well. On the deck, it was a decent layoff, and he scuffed it. He put it well wide. It was an embarrassing effort from Benrahma, it has to be said. So as a repercussion, he played no part in their second group stage game. Unsurprising, to be honest with you, after that missed chance. But last night was their third and final group stage game, and it's pretty easy for Algeria. It's pretty easy in this tournament. It's a bit like the Euro Championships in the summer, where most of the third place teams of our 4-team group progress to the next stage. So if they beat Ivory Coast, who had won 2 out of 2 so far, they'd have gone into the next round and Benrahma's tournament would have continued. So he got his first start against Ivory Coast and he was hooked at half time. They were 3-0 down at half time. I think they were certainly 2-0 down at half time anyway. He made some good runs. He was largely ineffective last night, Benrahma. He has small glimpses of his quality and his talent that we know he's got, but largely ineffective. However, I think that was more of a consequence of Algeria's tactics, if you like. Even Riyad Mahrez was poor all tournament. One of the best players at the tournament there. We've seen what he can do for Man City. We've seen it numerous times. I don't need to tell you how good Riyad Mahrez is. He was awful for Algeria. Benrahma wasn't good for Algeria either. It was just a bad campaign by them, to be honest with you. I wasn't impressed by what I saw from them. And they're probably the most disappointing team. Well, they have to be. They're the holders of the African nations, and they're out at the group stage already, finishing below Sierra Leone as they progress to the next round. Not good at all from Algeria. Not good from Said Benrahma, but good for West Ham United, because while there's a quick turnaround, I didn't think we'd have him back. I just assumed that if Algeria go out of the group stage, there's no way he's going to feature at Old Trafford. But we've got a little bit of evidence that there's hope. There is hope, because Thomas Partey featured for Ghana on Tuesday night. They finished bottom. They're out. Another big country out of the African nation at the group stage. So he got knocked out Tuesday night. And on Thursday, last night, he featured for Arsenal. So less than 48 hours after playing for Ghana, he was on the bench for Arsenal and he came on. He didn't want to come on. Well, evidence suggests Thomas Partey didn't want to come on. He came on with 15 minutes to go. And in the 87th minute, he got a yellow card. And 3 minutes later, got his second yellow and got sent off. There's a man. There's a man that's either angry that Ghana went out of the African Nations Cup, or angry that he has to play for Arsenal within 48 hours of his last game for Ghana. That's a man that didn't want to play any part in last night's semi-final, especially when they were 2-0 down. The game was pretty much over and he has to come onto the pitch and whatever. His actions suggested he was not happy last night. So hopefully we don't see the same from Said Benrahma if he's on the bench at Old Trafford tomorrow and comes on. But what a boost this would be for us, for West Ham as well. And like I said originally, I wasn't that bothered, because I looked at the fixtures, and after tomorrow, so we play Man United tomorrow, our next league game isn't until the 8th of February. That's after the final. The final of the African Nations is on the Sunday prior, the 5th I think it is. So even if Algeria went all the way and won the African Nations or finished runner-up, whatever, if they played in that final, we'd have had Said Benrahma back for that game against Watford on the 8th anyway, regardless. So, but I didn't know he'd possibly play tomorrow at the African Nation. That's a boost. I'm aware we've got Kidderminster Harriers in the FA Cup between Man United and Watford, but I'd like to think we'll cope. I'd like to think we'd cope in that FA Cup game if Said Benrahma was still away at the African Nations. I'd like to think we've got enough talent in the squad to get through against a non-league side in the FA Cup. However, tomorrow is the one that will make a big difference. Just having him on the bench, having him as an option. And it'll be interesting now because we've gone from sort of a really light bench against Leeds United where obviously Moyes turned around and used Yarmolenko and Masuaku. Tomorrow, on that bench, he'll have a more senior centre-back, so it allows him to change formation if he wishes. He'll have a full-back, whether it's Ben Johnson or Sufalo Creswell. He's going to have Alex Carl, the centre midfielder. He's going to have Said Benrahma, the attacking midfielder, plus one of the other ones, because Souček will come back into the team. So let's just say Souček comes in for Lanzini straight swap. It means on the bench we've got Lanzini. So essentially, tomorrow's bench could look like Areola, Ben Johnson, Issa Diop. Obviously we'll still have Masuaku, but then we can have Alex Kral, we can have Lanzini, the bench, and Said Benrahma. The bench is looking good all of a sudden for tomorrow for West Ham United. So a massive boost for us getting Benrahma back, but a really bad tournament for him and a horrendous tournament for Algeria. The African Nations has been a funny old tournament, isn't it? I'm aware if people are tuning into this, they may support one of the African teams, but it really has been a bit of a banter tournament so far. I've enjoyed it though. I quite like the fact it's a bit of a leveler. You've got, Salah, or one of the best players in the world of football, up against someone who's, a professional footballer in the Cyprus League. It's working in a weird way. But the stuff that's happening and the stuff that's making headlines, like the keeper mistakes and the referee blowing for full time before the 90th minute and stuff, and last night, one thing I've noticed about the African Nations, and I quite like it, the referees square up to players. I've seen this at least 3 times in 3 different games, and I quite like it. When a player starts giving it that last night in the Algeria game, Serge Aurier was giving it all that, so one of his players did a foul. He started going like this at the referee. The referee generally just goes face to face with Aurier and sort of looks at him like, what are you saying? You'll never see that in the penalty. You'll just never see it. It's almost like an act of controlled aggression from the referee. But straight away, he's in the face of Aurier saying, what you're saying, here's your yellow card, get on with the game kind of thing. I quite like it. I don't know why. It's just funny. I want to see John Moss tomorrow afternoon at West Ham. I want to see John Moss trying to square up to Bruno Fernandes. When Fernandes is going, I want to see John Moss going up to him and say, what you saying, Bruno? That's why I want to see. I'm here for a little bit of that. Oh, I've got a betting tip. I say betting tip. Right, let me write that down. I'll try and remember. If I forget, I'll write in the comments. I've just done a little bet for tomorrow's game, and I quite like it. I'll tell you in a minute, and I'll try and back it up as well. Anyway, yesterday, I've gone off topic massively. Well, first of all, Gonzo will be back tomorrow. He's just a bit busy today, so he wasn't going to do a video. He didn't do one yesterday. He's been skiving, isn't he? So I was like, right, okay, I'll do something. And Benrahma went out. I thought, there you go, I can talk about that. Because over on the main channel today, we've got the opposition preview with Soph. So we've got content over there today. So anyway, Gonzo will be back tomorrow, is what I'm trying to say. But yesterday, it came out that David Moyes' 2 main targets are Nat Phillips and Brereton Diaz of Blackburn. We've been linked with them loads. We all know who they are. And Nat Phillips one, he's going somewhere. Nat Phillips is definitely going somewhere. Us, Burnley, Newcastle, that's the 3 teams I think. I think it'll be one of those 3 he ends up at. I think the Burnley one depends on Tarkowski, although I think if they were to go and sign Nat Phillips, that would make sense. So then, even if Tarkowski doesn't leave in January, it means you can go in the summer and they've got the replacement already. But, like I said to you, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I said that I know somebody that supports Liverpool and knows somebody quite well at the club, and he had said to him that his sort of locker's been cleared out, his name's been taken off and stuff, and he's not featured in a squad since for Liverpool. Even the Carabao Cup last night, he wasn't in that squad, wasn't even on the bench. And Liverpool have just recalled Reece Williams from Swansea, a centre back as well, so that they can then fill Nat Phillips' space in the squad, if you like. So he's definitely on the move. So we'll wait and see if it's West Ham. I would imagine he said to me, what centre back do you think we'll sign? I'll say Nat Phillips. I've always had that feeling though, even before January, I've always had that feeling that Nat Phillips is a centre-back we'll go for. I think it just ticks a lot of the David Moyes boxes. I think he's affordable, about 10 million or something. I think that's the price bracket we're going in. Like I said when we discussed that Hungarian centre-back, I know I pronounced it wrong, I'm going to butcher it again. So Attila Cezalia, or whatever his name is, the 23-year-old left-sided centre-back from Fenerbahce, he's been quoted at nearly 17 million. I thought, that's a bit pricey. I can't see spending 17 million on centre-back. 10 million, yes. Now the striker one, Bertrand Diaz, I still remain unconvinced. But I will concede that he does tick a lot of the David Moyes boxes, if you like. He's tall, he's a big lad. His movement's quite good. He can play on the shoulder. He can also be a bit of a target man. Scored a couple of headers this season. Good headers he scored as well. Takes penalties. Not that it matters to David Moyes, but we are lacking a penalty taker at the minute. I know Lanzini's obviously scored his last couple, but he's not always on the pitch, and it's a bit like having Martin Noble as Martin Noble as penalty taker. He's not always there when there's a penalty. I mean, we saw when we played Man United in the league last time what happened. We took Noble on and he missed it. So having somebody in the team that is a specialised penalty taker, if you like, may not be a bad thing. I'm not convinced by this Diaz links. I'm not sure that Moyes will be paying north of 20 million for a striker who's only played striker for 6 months in the Championship. Now, he's been incredible. To score that much goals in such a short space of time is ridiculous. He's young as well. He's from this country. I know he plays for Chile and stuff, but he's from England. He ticks a lot of the Moyes boxes. That's what I will allude. But like I said, I'm a bit hesitant on it. I still am. I'm just not sure that this is a sort of good value for money kind of thing. I think there's better options out there for the same fee. But as I've also said in the past, when it comes to January transfer windows, I'm not sure Moyes is going to gamble with the overseas ones. I know you'll use Thomas Souček as an example, but that's where it stops really. Last season we only signed Jesse Lingard. Even the season before that when we got Souček, and Jared Bowen was the other one from the Championship. And I just think if you can sign domestic based players, I think you're massively reducing the risk of them not settling in or increasing the likelihood of them hitting the ground running, because they're used to the country, the tempo, the football, so on and so forth. They've got all that ready to go. And we've seen the difference between Kurt Zouma and the other three in the summer. When Moyes has taken in Zouma, the only domestic player that we signed, he's gone straight into the team. Whereas Kral, Areola and Vlasic, who we've signed from overseas, Moyes has been very, very patient with. Or you could say reluctant, depends how you want to look at it. But my point is, only one of the four has gone straight into the starting 11 and played football just like that. And that's Kurt Zouma. The only thing he's got that the other three don't is being signed from a domestic club. And I know Vlasic was at Everton. He didn't particularly fare too well there, did he? It's not the same. He's been playing Russian football for the last couple of seasons. So in January, I would be surprised if Moyes was to buy someone from outside the English leagues, just for that reason. We need players in for now. In the summer, you can buy someone like Vlasic and think, right, okay, if he can be up and running by January, we're good. You can't do that in January. You can't buy someone and say, well, if he's up and running by June, we're all right. Well, there's no football. The season's done. You might as well just sign him in the summer. So that's why I think in January, I think we'll see somebody that comes in from the domestic leagues. Nat Phillips ticks that boxes, as does Diaz. I'm still just not convinced on that Diaz links. Whether A, he's good value, or B, that David Moyes, he is David Moyes' number one signing. I'm just not sure believe it yet. Anyway, the transfer window closes next Monday. Lots of twists and turns, I'm sure. Anyway, Gonzo will be back tomorrow. Do drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. This channel's on almost... I can't do this. I'm as rubbish. Whenever Gonzo does this, he's rubbish at it as well. I don't know why. You just go a bit confused when you're watching yourself on a screen. We're nearly on 15,000 subscribers on this channel. So get subscribing. Get us to that magic 15,000. I'm going to shut up and disappear. Benrahma back tomorrow, baby. Catch you in a bit.